No. Those who can finance you has to be rich. So what difference does it make where the money comes from, you know? Without the money, you can't make the film. So I don't care. I know this thing, many people have asked, you're a leftist, how can you take money from? What leftist has money? Huh? Where are the rich leftists? They are not. They are poor. They can't fund a film. So if we have to look for money, we have to take it from somebody. Whether you take it from a bank or from a financier, or even sometimes taking it from in the older days, you have to, what is called a hundi used to be there. It's a kind of interest, So what the financier used to do is, suppose he gives you a finance amount and he takes away 60% of it as his share and only 40%. So right from the beginning, he gives you only 40%. And 60% is already just put it in your account saying that he has paid you. But he has not paid. No, so like that. But that's how the financing used to be at one time. But then the National Film Development Corporation came. They said if you spend 25% of your budget, the 75% we will pay you. And they said this is our limit. So their limit is so low. I mean, when I made Garam, I canned my negative for 2.5 lakhs. But I spent after that nearly 10 to 12 lakhs more. I borrowed from friends, and completed the film. And so it is like that. There is no harm to take the money from some rich person. After all, that money doesn't belong to him. I see that there is nothing sinful about it. You see, what happened was, I was trying to make some kind of a spoof. It was political, basically. So we cooked up a story of how an actor, a film actor, becomes very popular. So he is used by the politicians or the political party to propagate themselves. Then he becomes himself ambitious, that if I am drawing the crowds because of my popularity, why should I do a favor to the political party? So he himself becomes the leader of the party, and so that's how the spoof was thought of. And then I had a little takeoff on Jayaprakash Narayan, as a man who is confined to a room. He is sick, he is unable to move, he is on bed, and there is no door or window to that room. And it is like a grave. You're living, but you're in a grave. And that was the kind of thing. So there are no windows and doors, and just people appear, they come and give their respects to him, and he blesses them with his 1 foot, bandaged foot, he blesses them like that. And that was a takeoff on Jayaprakash Narayan, who for 25 years he didn't join the government. And the socialists didn't join the government. And Pandit Nehru um, invited them to come and join, but they had their own differences. They said, people like, you have all those old fogies in your as minister, so we don't want to sit along with them. And then he suddenly one day he woke up and said, total revolution. And he said, every poor man should revolt. He said the police should also revolt, the army should also revolt. I mean, this was chaos. That's what happened to Jayaprakash Narayan. He lost his mind or something like that. I mean, you ask the army to revolt just because they're poor, So I was trying to take off on that. And so the whole film was a spoof. And unfortunately, I wanted to do some portions in cartoon animation, which I couldn't do because my producer Lakshmipati didn't understand what I was trying to do. And he wouldn't spend any more money. So within that I managed. And that is one of its kind in the Indian cinema, a spoof like that. It was running in Nartaki here in Bangalore. There's a theatre called on Kempegoda Road, Nartaki. And it was running pretty well. I mean, on a Friday, on a Thursday, it had 60% collection. So that was very good for any film, and that too, that kind of film. But somebody went and told Rajkumar that ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಗೇಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು ಎಲ್ಲ ತಮಾಷೆ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Actually, we didn't think of him, but we had done that character, Simha had done that character, copying N.T. Ramarao, wearing that kind of dress and like a bandmaster. So, and then he was the hero of the film. So, he also did the same thing. But then, what Rajkumar used to do was also similar in any way. So he went and told the manager to remove the film. So they removed the film and put Ganga Jamuna, the next day, Friday. So that way it was sabotaged. But the film had its own run here and there, and Lakshmipati got his money back, but not great profits. So when the Karnataka State Awards were being presented, I mean the judgment was there, so everyone was, so suddenly the chairman, what's her name, a famous actress, Kannada actress anyway. So she said, hey, ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ವಲ್ಲ ನಾವು, ಅವ್ರು ಸತ್ಯವ್ರದ್ದು ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅದೇನು ಅರ್ಥನೇ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಅವಾರ್ಡ್ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. So they said a special jury award was given to Chittegu Chinte. It was not in the list of awards, but a new award was created. Saroja Devi was the chairperson of that committee. You see, as a filmmaker is not just making an entertainment. Entertainment is a word which doesn't cover. I think the word Manoranjan has a greater depth it elevates your mind. Manoranjan is something which elevates the minds of people. So your job is to elevate the minds of the people and make them aware of what socially or politically, where our nation is going wrong or where our world is going wrong. That is a kind of commitment of the filmmaker, to take that kind of a message to the people. Not that a film can change the society totally, it is not possible. But a few more films like that can create a movement, and that movement can change the world. It has to be a movement. One lonely film cannot, do anything like that. You see, if you have seen a film by Balraj Sahni, it was Bimal Roy's film called Do Biga Zameen. It exposed the kind of poverty that is there in Calcutta and in West Bengal, and how the migrant labor goes, from Bihar and other places. They go and find jobs, they don't find any job, so they become rickshaw pullers, and somehow live. They have whatever little land that they had, they have sold it away because it was barren or whatever reason. But it is one of the most significant films made on poverty. But unfortunately, that film, it ran quite well, I think, in the box office. But it didn't bring any awards to Balraj Sahni. One of his best performances is in that film. And later on, no doubt, he has performed so well in my film also. But in my film, his name came up for the award. Then somebody said, no, he's a card-holding member of the Communist Party. So we'll give it to an actor in Vasudevan Nayar's film, of a Pujari, one actor called Thomas or something like that. He got it. He was a living actor also. And Balraj Sahni had died before the release of Veeramoha. So he was deprived. Can you imagine an actor of that caliber in India not getting a national award because of their prejudice? This is how it is. This is reality. There are so many disparities in this field. Real talent is not recognized. There are more prejudices. Waste my time. You see, what has happened is, just 2 years ago, I fell down and broke my hip bone. So they have artificially put some metal thing inside. So I'm able to walk around and things like that. Now that my granddaughter got this stick also, which stands on its own. I can't stand on my own. Really, you see, it is standing on its own. So I'm a little handicapped, But I keep designing. I designed a couple of plays for Bombay IPTA recently, and now I'm designing for. I did for Varasudhara, Gule Bakavali, and now I'm doing. Suri is doing Tughlaq. Tughlaq has been done so many times by so many people in all languages. It has been done, but he wants to make it with today's costume, a modern, you know. So I've designed it. I've kept it ready to just give him the thing. I've done the set also. So anybody who wants anything to be designed, those who know me, they come to me, and I'm able to do it. The only problem is that I'm not able to travel. Not because of my doctors, but because of my daughters. They want to preserve me, How long can you preserve anybody? It makes no sense. But what to do, So, valid or invalid, live as long as you can.